Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I hope you're all doing well. I know it's been a long time I haven't posted any video, but November was so busy. I was traveling all this time, like at least for 10 days, I was sitting by the sea, absorbing the sunlight, moonlight, starlight, and it was just beautiful. It was relaxing, but of course, me and the weather, they are not great friends, so yeah, I wasn't well. And then when I came back, my mother was not well. So, like in most households, when the mother is not okay, then everything just collapses. So, yeah, I was taking care of her, but I'm back. Let's talk about the month of December. How different transits are going to impact, I'm sorry, how the different transits are going to impact your journey, your experiences, your work, your happiness. So today we have a twist. So you know that I use astrology plus the oracle cards. And because of this, some people who are not even subscribers, what they say, oh, you don't even use Vedic astrology. You are this and that. Like, okay, I need not to give any clarifications. We are using here the sidereal astrology. When I use oracle cards, it's about finding some inspiration, like how teachers they use teaching aids. Okay, in the same way, I bring these oracle cards to bring more positivity, bring more inspiration and motivation, and that's the only aim here, right? So today, as it is the end of the year, it's December. So instead of the oracle cards, today I'm using my artwork. Whatever artwork I created this year, I'll be using that as oracle cards to inspire you, to give you some message. So, what's the theme for December? I think the most beautiful part of December is two planets. One is the Saturn in Aquarius, and then we have Venus in Libra. Two planets which are great friends and they are in their own signs. A very positive initiation, a start, something solid is there for everyone. Though this is the time when you wrap everything and you close and it's like, okay, I'm tired, I'm done, let's just finish this. But this is the time when a solid foundation is being initiated. Maybe it's just a decision you made, a commitment towards self, and see how things will grow so beautifully for you. So that is the major highlight. Saturn being in Aquarius and Venus being in Libra, which is quite amazing. And of course, Sun transiting from the galactic center, from the Mula Nakshatra, Sagittarius. So this is also a very significant transit for each one of us. Facing yourself, facing your inner core, meeting with your own self, that depth, and to renew again. So, yep, let's get started and let's see how these transits are going to impact you in the month of December. Hey everyone, let's talk about Aries. For Aries, the month of December is about love, it's about balance. Yes, Venus going into Libra, which is your seventh house. If there was any struggle or you were facing a lot of criticism, arguments in the matters of love, romance, business, partnerships, any kind of a legal contract, tender, stuck somewhere, Venus brings the ease, happiness over there, improvement in any deal where there's a contract. Maybe it's a soul contract. So There's a huge improvement when it comes to being with people, interacting with other people. And Venus is not just the relationships, but it is also the money. And over here, there is this um, art which I call as time is your coin. Though I wanted to show over here Saturn. This is Saturn, and the rings of Saturn are now here arranged like a flower, which looks like oh, it's a beautiful flower here. But this is Saturn and the rings of Saturn, and over here is I'm trying to say that time is your coin. So this talks about month of December in a great way, with having Venus and Saturn in such vital houses. Venus in its own sign, Libra in the seventh house, Saturn in its own sign, Aquarius in the 11th house. This is a period to utilize your time amazingly. Whatever work you do, you're doing it with great focus, concentration. Everything you touch turns out to be gold. Long term planning is going to happen here. So, financially, you will improve. The work is improving, the relationships are improving. And what you need to do is to utilize your time properly. Learning that is significant. And you have Mars in Aries in the eighth house. So, trying not to do things with your anger. There's a lot which you might be also suppressing in this month, or it could be Mars brings out certain issues. Maybe you're suppressing your anger. You have suppressed your anger for a long period of time, and then now Mars leads to this health issue, some kind of health issue. Maybe now you need to take some medication, some kind of procedure needs to be done. So Mars may challenge the health for you in this particular month, or simply Mars here indicates that there are certain aspects of life where you really want to take action very quickly. Okay, but you need to be patient in certain areas. And as I mentioned, eighth house is also unexpected changes, and when Mars gets here in the eighth house, this could also be unexpected situations where you have to actually act very quickly. Something which is so unplanned, and now you have to take quick decisions. Your courage is being tested. So some areas don't act with impulse, and there are certain urgent situations where you have to work in a very raw manner. So Venus is very helpful. Even Mars is helpful. It's helping you with a lot of power and courage. But when to use it, how to use it responsibly, that is what Mars wants you to learn about. And of course, health. Again, I'm saying health and health because Ketu co rules the eighth house, and then Ketu right now is in the sixth house in Virgo. So, yes, elevated blood pressure, digestion issues, um, all these things. You have to take care of yourself. We have a full moon in Gemini in the third house of yours, which is wonderful because it's helping you to see things more clearly. Your observation is amazing. How you communicate at the work front, it's very amazing. So, moon is actually helping you to find new ideas, to implement your ideas. It's wonderful. And financially, also, you will see that prosperity. And then we have this art, Orion by the sea. So this is something I just saw recently when I was on a beach at night, and this beautiful constellation of Orion was just rising in the east sky, which was so beautiful. And this reminds me of the burden on your shoulders. And I think it also a bit resonates with the Rahu, in the 12th house of yours currently. And also Saturn in the 11th house. You have these beautiful hopes and ambitions, desires, but you have, but these dreams are now transforming into a burden. This is Ardhara and this is Mrigashira. Okay, so it's like the shoulders of Orion constellation. There's so much. Don't let your dreams be the burden. You want to achieve them, it's beautiful, but sometimes when our dreams do transform into burden, we cannot no longer fulfill that. We start getting afraid of our own dreams and desires sometimes. So chase it whatever you want to, but don't let that be like a pain or a burden to you. Then it won't be fulfilled at all. And one more important transit which I see happening for you in December is Sun reaching to your ninth house. For some time till 16th, the Sun is in the eighth house, then it goes into Sagittarius. Ninth house with Mercury, brilliant opportunities to travel because of work. I do see travel because of some personal affair, traveling to get some kind of new knowledge, higher learning may happen. So here's the C, and then you have Sun transiting from ninth house, which leads to travel. So yes, some travel is there because of a certain responsibility, because of a certain goal. Hey everyone, let's talk about Taurus. For Taurus, the month of December is about fulfillment of the goals, doing your best and receiving the best, surpassing all the obstacles. Venus, which is your first house ruler, is transiting from the sixth house in Libra. Justice to what you are doing, justice to the hard work you have done. Venus helps you to go beyond a certain obstacle. There is no competition. Even if you're facing competition, don't compare. This competition is not worth it, because you have something great to offer. You have the best thing to offer. Don't doubt yourself. So there is achievement, there is financial growth. If you have a certain loan, you want to pay back the money, this will also happen. So Venus helps you to find more growth here. Venus also indicates, because Venus is also about relationships, so Venus is showing a very important thing. Venus indicates that if you feel some kind of injustice in love, significant partnership, this is not the end, because here, though Venus is the sixth lord in the sixth house, but for relationships, it's slightly heavy, it's slightly challenging, because it might be the mistake of other people, what they have to say, and then you hurt yourself. You feel insufficient. Maybe you're not doing enough for the other person. That kind of feeling may emerge. So, yeah, this art which I selected for Venus, for Taurus, Venus in the sixth house, Libra. This is inspired by the Jeju Islands. A beautiful evening in the Jeju Islands. These are the this shows the late spring season, when everything is in full bloom, but yet these flowers are falling down. So there's so much of promise and beauty right now you see in something, you might have seen in something, and you feel, okay, this thing will fall apart one day, and what will I do? Which is not true. So it's about seasons. This artwork is about seasons, and Venus here in the sixth house, which is actually the house of Virgo. So there is something about what you love the most, you're passionate about. There's a fear of losing it, the fear of, okay, this has to come to the end one day, but the experience you gain from it, the success you gain from it, whether it's a work project, it will always be there for you. Tomorrow, of course, you have to start with a new work. A new project is waiting for you. Again, you have to start this journey. But that beautiful scent of the flowers you have experienced, that memory is with you, that visual memory is with you. Same for the relationships as well. Certain relationships will fall apart, and some will actually be strengthening at this time. So not everyone can be with you. This is what you have to learn. And this is also about not just some people falling apart from you, but also some people who may come back to you. Maybe they are with you and they will support you. So Venus is your first lord, and when it gets into the sixth house of justice in Libra, you have to see around who is giving justice to your support, your love, your affection, what you deserve. That focus should be there. And of course, there's certain bonds where a lot of work is required, and with that, some patience is required. Wait and watch. Don't think this is the end. So, this is about cherish moments of life. There's such beautiful things which will always be there. Those memories will be there for you. Maybe in the physical reality, those things have ended, but you learn something valuable you got in your life. This is what December is about. And this reminds me of the Jupiter in the 12th house in Aries. And yeah, this is the pole star. Okay, this is the North Pole star, and this is the Saptarishi, the Ursa Major. So, with every season, this thing, the Ursa Major, you will see it in a different alignment. Okay, and when you draw the Ursa Major for all four seasons, it looks like the Saptarishis are revolving around the North Pole star, which is beautiful. So, this reminds me of the Jupiter right now in the 12th house in the very final phase, because it's about to move into your first house in Taurus. Don't stop praying, don't stop dreaming, don't stop to dream big, because this shows there's this something in your mind which is brewing and growing, and there's a wish fulfillment, a dream fulfillment which will happen very soon. So maybe in December it may look like, okay, I want to quit on this dream, but no, you have traveled to this place, you're traveling, you're doing this um revolution around the pole star. You're doing such so beautifully, so don't quit, I would say. And this also talks about there's so much of magic in you which needs to be tapped in. Sun, for some time it will be in your seventh house with Mars around till 16th of December. This is about showing your power. You know how Saptarishis are like so powerful. These are the headquarters of the cosmos. So I just want to say is you have a lot of power. This art shows power as well. So you have a lot of power in this particular month. You have to show your power to the world through your work, through your decision making ability. You will have a huge influence over other people. And then the later half of December is about a little bit of inactivity and focusing on your dreams, focusing on your well being, as Sun joins Mercury in the eighth house, which is more about introspection, doing some research, investigative work, so that how can you plan the next year, maybe. All right, and then there is a beautiful full moon in the second house in Gemini, which shows spending time with family. But the Mercury transits from the eighth house, which shows some arguments or conflicts with a family member. You don't want to, you may try very hard not to, but eventually it may happen. And I also see for Taurus, there is a big aim for money, to grow your money. It's not about earning money, but it's to expand and grow. So you are finding solutions in this month to expand your finances. Hey everyone, let's talk about Gemini. Gemini, first of all, a full moon in Gemini, that is your first house. So December is about being cheerful. December is about laughing, meeting people, spending great time with others. Can you see here two rainbows, double rainbows? This is a sign of happiness, a sign of looking forward, forward towards your dreams, forward towards where you want to go. So there's travel, short distance journeys. It's about enjoyment and happiness and talking and laughing. So definitely this is going to happen. And also your first lord Mercury is in the seventh house in Sagittarius. It aspects the first house. So this is about communication. And also that communication where you always thought some courage is required to say it, to speak about it. So courage is also a very important factor for you because you have Mars in the sixth house in Scorpio. Trying to take a risk in this month of December, to speak out, to do a certain thing, to take a decision, to take an action. There is some risk involved. Why there is a risk involved? Because you're too afraid of a certain situation. What will be the consequences of the situation? What if someone gets angry because of it? What if someone disappoints because of it? But how long will you take that tension? How long you will not express yourself? You won't say what is required because you feel that others might get unhappy. So maybe, Mars is showing that you need to show your courage. You need to go beyond being in a state of very over emotional person and take the decision. Also, Mars indicates that the health needs a lot of care. All that impulsiveness may lead to challenges. But on the other hand, Mars also indicates success. Success in any competitive area where there is rivalry, cutthroat competition. Instead of fighting, draining your energy, use that effort and courage to do your work, to move forward and succeed. Yeah, so some conflict, of course, the Mars indicates, and Mars in your chart is not just the sixth lord, but it is also the lord of the 11th house. So, to fulfill a certain desire, to maybe enhance your money, enhance your opportunities, there's some fight which you have to do all alone. So that is a challenge in December, but you're continuing to be a very joyful person. You're continuing to be doing a lot of things all together. Multitasking happens here. One more crucial point is the Venus. Venus in your chart rules the 12th house and the 5th house, and it is transiting from Libra, which is the 5th house itself. So there is more clarity in relationships. When it comes to love, when it comes to romance, when it comes to even important friendships, you are um trying to speak, you're trying to bring some kind of balance here, that I deserve better, I deserve great things, I can give great things, so I deserve better things from others. So that realization that I deserve better things, I deserve better treatment, that kind of realization happens here, and Venus will definitely improve the love life. Venus will definitely improve the ability to work along with someone. It could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be that you're working along with some person in a business, in a work collaboration. There's more clarity. You're speaking about self as well, because Venus is ruling the subconscious house, the 12th house, okay? So, in the fifth house of happiness, emotional fulfillment, it's high time I must express, because I don't want to regret it later. Let me balance this, let me restore a certain part of my life. So you are with Venus in Libra, you are definitely restoring your happiness, your joy, focusing on such work which really make you happy, and there is improvement, significant improvement in relationships and the give and take with the people. And the Venus also, I think it connects to this art, which is a double rainbow over the waterfall. This is about dreams. This resonates with the Venus. This also resonates a bit with the Mars in the sixth house. Why I'm saying so? Because um, what you may see in December is that a lot of people stopping you with the Mars in the sixth house of obstacles, stopping you from following your instincts, following your passion, following what you dream about, what you truly like, because they will make you afraid of the consequences. In some areas, yes, maybe it's a warning, maybe it's someone telling you you can listen to others, you can keep in mind what they are saying. Some information will be valuable, but a lot of times it's about challenging your abilities, challenging your way of working, that, oh, this dream of yours, it cannot be fulfilled. Why are you even thinking about this? So this double rainbow is about chasing your dreams, having belief, having a strong belief in what you are creating, where you are going in life. What matters to me, I'll follow that. What you expect from me, no, I'm not going to do that, because it doesn't serves me, it doesn't makes me happy. So this is about the two themes here. This is about dream fulfillment, being more soft like water. Water is soft, and water is also uh, something which really even can cut away a rock. So, being like water, you have to choose where you have to be soft and where you have to be like this force which breaks everything to create your own path, to create and find your destination. Okay, and waterfalls are very powerful. That potential energy here. This is about preparing for the next phase of life. I could see that. And then we have this Pleiades. This is Kritika Nakshatra. Okay, the seven sisters. And this is Mercury in Pleiades, Mercury in the Kritika Nakshatra. And it's all happening over a desert sky. So Kritika is ruled by Sun, right? And this is Mercury. And we have Sun and Mercury in your seventh house in Sagittarius this month in December. So, what this art is talking about is that be very clear with your words. With Sun and Mercury reaching to the 7,000 Sagittarius, Um, Sometimes your words may hurt others in this particular month, or you said something in the past and now people are bringing criticism because of that. You're being criticized of not being able to fulfill a certain promise. So Sun and Mercury indicates, in the seventh house, it indicates that you will do very well. The work is going great. It's just that some people are making you nervous by bringing in criticism. But you should move forward with the laser sharp focus. The eye should be on your aim, on your dream. That's it. A very sharp focus. And also I see uh focusing on self improvement, in how you convey yourself, your speech, how you groom, how you work. Maybe this criticism is helping you to actually improve a lot. So some kind of polishing, improvement is happening here in how you deal with the public, how you deal with the people at the work front. There's a lot of improvement. Your effort which you are doing on self, it will give great results. But your patience is being definitely tested here. And there is anger as well. We have the Kritika here and the Mars in the sixth house. There is a lot of anger, and don't let that anger act against you. Hey everyone, let's talk about Cancer. For Cancer, there's a great influence of um, certain planets over your moon in the month of December. Firstly, your first house ruler, the moon, well, it will be 12 places away during the full moon. So there's a full moon in Gemini. And then in the fourth house, there is Venus in Libra. Again, hugely influencing the moon in your chart, because fourth house is the house of the moon itself. So over there is Venus in Libra. There's a lot of indulgence in this particular month. Indulgence with respect to the favorite food you eat, the art, the good clothes, how you live your life. There's a lot of richness, celebration, spending time with the loved ones. So I think this first art, the grape wine, shows it that there is so much of luxury and indulgence which is there in the month of December. Having a blast, having a wonderful time in a very cozy space with your loved ones. But along with that, this art is like this talks about even sometimes overindulgence as well. Okay, so, taking care of how you spend your money, taking care of what you are eating. So, too much can also be problem. This is what the full moon in the 12th house this month is indicating. You're meeting a lot of people at this time, and how you convey yourself, your feelings, and how you open up to others, what you say to others. You have to be a bit selective. With Venus in Libra in the fourth house, this is about um, being with people, but some people you may not enjoy their company because they're too demanding in nature. Venus, of course, treats Moon as enemy, and there's a reason for it. There's a fight between um, what I truly desire for. Okay, I want this, let me get it, but then I have to see whether there's a balance here. I have to see um, the justice here, the equal give and take. Moon just wants it. Okay, let it happen. That's my instinct. But Venus says, okay, let me see the both sides. Let me see what works here. So the equilibrium between, um, I would say, the desired people in your life and those who are not required. Some people are really making you very insecure here because you know they don't deliver justice to you. They don't give you the right space, they don't give you the right security as well. So you're trying to be with such people. You know it may somehow end up again in a very challenging situation, but you're trying to adjust, you're trying to be with them. But in this process there's a lot of uh, emotional hurt you go through. So Venus shows in your fourth house. There's indulgence, there's enjoyment, there is so much of luxury, but also there is a conflict between what you feel, okay, this should be the right thing, but then, okay, I have to be fair as well. I have to see how I can make everyone happy. So that kind of conflict happens with, but for a lot of people, Venus here is also about doing something very important at your home, purchasing something which just enhances your luxury, your comfort as well. Or simply it is about spending a lot of time with the people, the known people, the loved ones. Further, you have Mars in Scorpio, in your fifth house. And Mars also rules over your 10th house. So for Cancer, it is about uh, getting into quick work. Like you have to act quickly in your profession. Quickly, you have to do some kind of problem solving. Quick actions are required with respect to work, and you may also get quite busy with your professional journey with Jupiter in Aries in your 10th house and Mars in Scorpio in your 5th house. There's a lot which is going on, and you will gain a lot through this. The hard work you are doing, the efforts you're putting in, the time you are giving, this will enhance your future opportunities. This will make you look like a more efficient professional. And Mars in the fifth house, the fifth house is about emotional stability, because this is the house of happiness. So Mars reaching to the house of happiness, there's something which triggers you. Maybe it's your deepest fear. Maybe it's someone out there who constantly brings a difficult memory of yours. So that trigger comes through the Mars. And with the Mars over here, learn to overcome these issues without creating major conflict. That's what you have to learn. And you also have Sun in Mercury in Sagittarius this month. For first half of December, Sun is in your fifth house, and then it goes into your sixth house. It will be joining Mercury. So again, when Sun reaches, whether the Sun is with Mars in the fifth house and then it reaches to the sixth house. So in the both placements, there is a lot of work, and you're doing your work in a very efficient manner. You will be very busy. But when the Sun reaches to your sixth house, Sun is the second lord reaching to the sixth house. This is about some conflicts in the family zone. Okay, Sun is transiting from the galactic center, the Mula Nakshatra, in the later half. So someone just, touches the core of you. You're getting angry over someone because of that opposition. But Sun also here strengthens you a lot. The decision you will take, whether it's your home, whether it's your work, you are the leader. You are the one who is in charge of that work, and you will win. The decision you are taking, the work you are doing, you're doing things so amazingly. But with the full moon in the 12th house, this is the last oracle card, I would say, the artwork. This is lost in the woods. See how there's so beautiful stars up there and the trees everywhere, and it's not that you are lost. The moon shows, okay, I'm drained, I'm lost, I'm confused, but this is a detour. In December, if you feel a bit lost, it's just that it's time to shift your focus to different things of life which makes you happy. There's a period of uncertainty maybe in December, but this period is not about being lost in life. It's about lost in a beautiful place so that you can cherish things, you can observe things, you can see the sky, you can see the trees, and have a very happy moment, like a break, complete withdrawal. Your senses are withdrawn here from the daily challenges, and you're just focusing on the pretty things in life. Not every moment of life can be spent thinking about the gain and the profit and the loss and the enemies. Just being there, living your life, breathing. This is what you must do in December. Hey everyone, let's talk about Leo. For Leo, in the month of December, your first house ruler, Sun, will transit from the fifth house. For initial half, it's with Mars in Scorpio, and then it goes to fifth house in Sagittarius. It will join Mercury over there. Now, what's happening? The initial half of December is about working out of your comfort zone. You're working out of your comfort because Sun in the fourth house, I think this is about resting. It's about finding a safe place and not being much active. Okay. But since the Sun joins the Mars in Scorpio, it is about, oh, I don't feel active, I don't feel like doing this or that, but still I have to struggle and get things done. So, completing your work, fulfilling certain responsibilities, especially with respect to the home, the family, or simply it could be personal. Some goals are there and that needs to be completed. So, you're pushing yourself and dragging yourself and doing things. That's how it's happening. But you will be surprised, how am I getting this power? How am I getting this courage to do things? So, you're also dealing with some challenges and you will win. You're crushing these challenges, you're meeting the most irritating people, and still you're doing wonderfully. So the Mars gives a lot of power here to you, to the Sun, and this is getting really great. So you will be doing well. Then the Sun reaches to the fifth house in Sagittarius with Mercury. I think here Sun will give you a lot of joy and happiness. There is this, as I said, we are using today my art as oracle cards. So there are two things which I want to talk about, and both goes with the Sun for you. So this is the Garuda. And he is the protector. He is the protector. He is this beautiful light towards you. This shows the Sun's transit. I think both show Sun's transit from the fifth house. This is the Mula, the black hole, and though it's dark, deep within, but it's so beautifully surrounded by millions and millions of stars. Just see the light and the stars around the black hole. So, of course, when Sun transits from Sagittarius, it transits from the galactic center for you this month over here. So there are two things. Firstly, the Garuda shows a lot of protection in many ways. Some areas of life, situations where you think, okay, I cannot make it happen, I cannot deal with this stuff. And then there is this projection coming in. Maybe this is a reminder of whatever your belief system is, whomsoever deity you believe in, whatever the philosophy is, call out for that power, call out for that help, that prayer, and that prayer is being answered. So that kind of beauty is happening here. And also there is wish fulfillment with the full moon happening in your 11th house in Gemini. There is a wish fulfillment, a desire which will happen, which is giving you a lot of happiness. I won't say it's a long-term wish or a long-term goal, but something very immediate, something you want now, a very short-term goal, some quick gain with respect to money, with respect to some support from a friend, with respect to support from a loved one, something like that you are creating for yourself in this particular month. And with this black hole and the light around it, the stars around it, it is also about what you see is important, your vision. Sometimes, if you focus on the dark thing, you focus on the negative aspect of your journey, the further you will be in the depth of that darkness. It's okay to see into the dark areas of life, accept them, understand them, but the dwelling part, okay, that dwelling is difficult. It's a reminder. When I when I painted this, I was thinking a lot of times you find yourself here deep within, and we just dwell in this like anything, and we forget that there's so much of light around us. This is your light only. This is a part of you, and this is also a part of you. Don't forget the light, the beautiful the string of stars around you. If you are this, you are this as well. And there are times when you have to focus on this circle of light around you. You may have a tendency of sticking to uh, difficult emotions, especially if you're a Leo ascendant or a Leo moon and your sun is not well placed. That might be the case. So focus on the stars. The stars means your achievements, your happiness. So sun transiting from the fifth house, focus on what makes you happy. There's a lot of joy meeting your own people, friends at this time. So that's how sun is working for you. Venus transits from Libra, from the third house. Very well, communication with the loved ones, people at the work front also, because Venus rules the 10th house. All right. So 10th lord transiting from third house in Libra, wonderful. That diplomatic way of talking and that firmness and getting your things done, perfect. Venus is helping you to communicate yourself with your loved ones, communicate yourself with the people at the work front, managing something, creating a better work environment. All happens with the Venus over here. You have Rahu in the 12th house right now. Sorry, 12th sign, Pisces, 8th house. All right. So there is a bit of restlessness about the future. Rahu in Pisces, 8th house, Jupiter in the 9th house, waiting for some kind of result for a lot of people. How will it be? It will be good. Don't worry. Okay. Don't be too much in the heavy emotions. I think this is the major theme for you. All right. Hey everyone, let's talk about Virgo. For Virgo, first thing first, Ketu in Virgo, which is your first house. A fresh new start for you. And this fresh new start starts from not focusing on anything. Need not to focus on any single thing. Because Ketu in Virgo brings the need to move away from every drama. Maybe certain things can be resolved by by simply getting away from that challenge for a while. Like, I'm a person who always say, you have a challenge, go fight and get things done. But I don't know, for Virgo, the Ketu in Virgo, I'm saying sometimes detachment, sometimes disconnection, that rest, that break is required. Maybe some of you are dealing with a break with respect to work, with respect to a situation, and you're very overwhelmed when I'll get back to work. But this break is significant to rest, to restore your power, and to be more productive in the future. Productivity is a major thing for you. Okay, secondly, Venus transiting from Libra, that is your second house in December, which is actually a very good thing. There is a huge relief in the family bonds, the relationships, getting along with people, being understood by people, because Venus brings that blessing, that luck. It's your ninth lord. So that kind of prosperity, some kind of a happy moment or celebration happens for you in December. Spending time with the loved ones could be there, or simply of feeling your best. There is a bit of isolation, of course, given by Ketu, but still you feel that after a long time, there is a lot of balance in my life. I feel that things are better. That kind of feeling is there, and Venus also will enhance the financial opportunities. Maybe you will save more money, you will gain more money, so that could be quite a nice thing for you. But Rahu in the 12th sign, that is your seventh house, there are disagreements. Your way of working is not matching with the other person's perspective, other person's views and how they work. It could be business partnership, it could be some kind of a public work, a public connection, it could be a partnership, a love. Absolute opposition. And learning to get along with others, finding that common point where you can get along with others. This is what Rahu is initiating for you, for the Virgo. Sun, okay, your 12th lord will transit from the 4th house. For a while it is in the 3rd house with Mars in Scorpio for the initial half of December, and then it moves into the 4th house, that is with Mercury in Sagittarius. So the December starts with a lot of courage, having that power to say your truth, having power to go ahead and do your work. Certain thing you were always waiting for, you couldn't make the decision because you were a bit nervous about it. So Sun and Mars helps you to take that decision, get it done, saying your truth, taking the efforts, because there is a fear connected to a certain decision or action. So you will do it anyway. Okay, I'll see the consequences. Let's do this. So that kind of power comes through this. And also a lot of power in your hands at the work front, doing good. People are influenced by you as well. A little bit of gossip is happening behind you, definitely. And then when the sun reaches to the 4th house, then comes a period of a little bit of identity crisis for you. Sun transiting, especially from the Mula Nakshatra, feeling misunderstood sometimes, or a time period when you are actually isolating yourself, because Sun, for Virgo, Sun is the 12th lord. It itself shows some kind of isolation throughout the journey, so that you can be yourself, so that you can be in your power. That isolation brings that identity back. So Sun here brings the need to be in a more safe and secure place, having your own space and doing your favorite things and not being interfered by others. The Sun shows that you may feel a little bit of interference from the home or someone very significant, a guardian. So trying to just, do your own business. That's what sun is indicating. And also for some people, it could also be moving away from home, since sun is in Sagittarius. So it takes you on a journey away from home. It could be something regarding the spiritual pursuit. It could be regarding also, meeting someone very significant with respect to work. So that could be the thing. Let's look into the, and also you have a full moon in the 10th house in Gemini. So there's definitely travel, like a lot of things you are doing together. There's a lot on your plate, multitasking. Your mind is everywhere. You're rushing from here and there. But on other hand, the sun in the Sagittarius in the 4th house wants just focus on self. That I want to focus on the wellness and happiness of mine. That's the thing. So the first oracle card, the first art is the Mars and the Moon. So Mars, Moon, Chandra Mangala Yoga. This is about wealth. So as I said, there is great financial opportunity for you in this month, but this is also about the anger. Don't take decisions with anger when you are very intense, because I told you earlier that how Sun Mars are together in the 3rd house, taking some actions without even thinking of consequences. And this is what the the Moon Mars is also indicating. Overwhelming emotions, and you then take some decisions which may hurt others as well. Your speech may hurt others as well. So take care of that. But this is very good sign of accomplishing your goals, and of course the wealth. And then we have the camellia. Camellia is a beautiful flower, my favorite, I would say, also known as the Japanese rose. This is a beautiful flower, and camellia is a symbol of unconditional love. Camellia is about the tenderness you have within. Even if you age, you grow older, but this is the joy, that tenderness, that beauty, that youth in you, which never goes away. So maybe you you might be worried with something getting old in your life, and it may not be the same. Maybe you are changing so quickly, and you feel that the beauty in me, how I look at life, how I enjoy my life, my perspective may change. I may get serious. Oh my god, what's happening? So this is a reminder. The camellia says that there's a beauty in you. It's not about physical beauty, and it will always be there, and always protect the beautiful part of you, the good in you. Don't let anyone just rush in and hurt you so much that you see yourself through that hurt. So the camellia is about cherishing life, cherishing how amazing you are. Hey everyone, let's talk about Libra. For Libra, there are 2 things which will act as a blessing in the month of December. The first thing is your 1st house ruler, Venus, transiting from Libra. Secondly, the Saturn in the 5th house in Aquarius. 2 friends in the trines, in their own sign. This is the time of creating things. All that potential, skill, beauty, the power you have, you're giving it all, doing your best. There is a big positive transformation for you. And I always say, okay, check the natal Saturn, check the natal Venus. I would have said that, but still, no matter where they are in your chart, there is a positive transformation. Something initiates for you in December, which will lead to a lot of fulfillment and balance in your life. Some kind of justice needs to happen. Maybe you're doing so well since a long time, and you're waiting for the right result, the right respect. It starts from here. That kind of growth happens from here. So Libra, which is the eighth, sorry, the Libra, for the Libra, Venus rules the first house and the eighth house, and Venus transiting from first house. So this is about something being born again, like a rebirth, reinitiation of a work which was pending, you thought it will never work, reinitiation of a certain love connection, a certain friendship, someone who just comes to you out of nowhere. It's not because they want something from you, but I do see realization. People see that worth in you, people see that how you think about them, how you work for them. That kind of realization is there. People will see your worth, and professionally also people will see your worth, because your 10th lord, though it will be 12 places away, the moon, there's a beautiful full moon in the ninth house in Gemini, which is about some kind of luck. There's this push from the divine, from the higher power, whatever you believe in, that upliftment, that luck factor, that support comes in your life. And I also see, like as I said, I'm using my artwork today as oracle cards. So I love this one. This is one of my favorite art I have made. This is the kitty, and we have the Saturn's rings around it. So this is you being playful in life. This is what you have to learn in December, or see that this is what the life is, a certain pattern, a certain way of journey. Saturn in the fifth house right now, which is a very important house with respect to happiness, potential, intelligence, purva punya. So life offers you certain rings. This is what you're wearing, this is what your journey is about. You may feel restricted in these areas, but still, like a playful soul, you're learning to accommodate to that. Not, I'm not saying, oh, this is my final fate, let's accept it, but I'm trying to be playful, I'm trying to be joyful. I cannot, like, how can I be unhappy all the time and feel like a victim? This is what maybe my journey is. Maybe I cannot change it for now, but let me just find chances to be happy, opportunities to be happy. Let me see life with a different lens. How can I be happy where I am right now? This is you and the Saturn's transit in the fifth house of happiness right now. And this is the pomegranate, a beautiful fruit which is about fertility, love, passion. Such a rich fruit with respect to the nourishment. It also shows femininity. Pomegranate is about the feminine, the nourishment. And this shows the Venus in your first house right now in Libra. There is a lot of richness, happiness coming in December. Maybe you're buying new clothes for yourself, you're grooming yourself, taking care of yourself. Even if you like, whether you're a man or a woman, it's about nourishing the self, taking care of self. That is what the pomegranate is indicating for you. So yeah. And for Libra, the sun, for the first half of December, it's in the second house with Mars. So the December starts with the disagreement, some kind of disagreement, with some senior maybe, or someone elder in the family. It could also be your sibling, because ultimately, it's with Mars, so it could be also a very cold war with a significant person, not saying anything, not saying what you feel, and someone trying to overpower you. Or it could be that you are having some money for a certain work, and unexpectedly you have to spend it in some else issue. But when the sun reaches to, because sun is your 11th lord, so when sun reaches to the third house with Mercury in Sagittarius, uh, something will get better here. The coldness you are facing right now with someone may get better. You will get along with your friends much better. You will get along with your loved ones in a great manner. And sun brings the urge to do your things beautifully, quickly. But there's a lot of positivity which comes through the sun's transit, and you're very active. You may travel as well at this time to meet loved ones, or maybe this is about adventurous journey to have fun. So sun brings that positivity and hope in the later half of December. Hey everyone, welcome. Let's talk about Scorpio. For Scorpio, the month of December, well, Mars in the first house, Scorpio sign. The month of December is absolutely under great influence of Mars, which is your ascendant lord, which is your moon sign. Mars will make you feel things very intensely. Maybe there is no need to feel certain things with that great depth, but I'm sorry, my throat is not okay. Yeah. So there is no need to feel certain things with that depth, but Mars makes you feel everything with such intense manner. But the gift is Mars also is bringing a lot of courage for you, power for you, for all those things which you felt were stuck. It's not that you were not capable of doing those things, you didn't have the skill, but some kind of guilt, or maybe it's not even guilt, it's how the past experiences were. It became a narrative in your mind. I cannot do it in the right way, maybe it's not for me. So that courage comes in with Mars in Scorpio, and to break that challenge and be in a very powerful mode. The work can be very demanding for you in the month of December. It can be very challenging. You have to put in a lot of efforts, you have to give a lot of time to it. Even if you are maybe in the field of law or defense or surgery, any profession where emergency is required, you have to act very quickly in that work. So for those people, December is challenging in some way. Your work is very demanding at this time, and also the 10th lord sun transits from the first house for the first half of December. It's with Mars itself in Scorpio. So you are in action because of your work, dealing with the most difficult part of your profession, difficult project maybe, and you will do it wonderfully, no doubt. That problem solving happens here, and you may have certain charge in your hand, certain responsibilities as well, and you will do it nicely. On a personal level, with the sun transiting from first and second house, because in the second half of December the sun is in Sagittarius along with Mercury. So the month of December starts with a lot of work getting drained, and then the second half of December is about spending time with family. Whatever you also did in the first half, it will reward you in the second half of December, maybe financially, maybe getting the value, the respect you always wanted, you deserved, people looking at you with great respect, giving value to you. The value enhances, the value of you as a person, your work enhances maybe it's been enhanced by giving you money, or just enhanced by giving you a lot of respect and honor. Okay. And one more thing I wanted to talk about is, which is very special for Scorpio, is Mars in Scorpio in the first house and Venus in the 12th house in Libra. Mars, Venus are in a 212 alignment. The planets regarding, they both represent passion. They both significantly influence relationships in life, especially the romance and all that. So, today, as I told you, I'm using my art to, as oracle cards to guide you. So, over here, how the Mars is transiting from Scorpio in the first house and Venus is 12 places away. I think it perfectly goes with the Pluto. Pluto, of course, Pluto is also, co-ruling over Scorpio itself. So how amazing is that? Now, Pluto have an ocean, and it's in a form of a heart. We call this as the icy heart of Pluto. This is a frozen sea, you can say, in the very heart of the Pluto. And what the Mars is doing when it reaches to the first house, it's melting your heart. Any kind of challenging feeling you have, some kind of regret or hatred for someone or something, any feeling of I want to take a revenge. I'm not saying you're a bad person for that. So wherever there was some imbalance or justice, okay, now this needs to melt and go away. This feeling of regret, I'm not getting that word today. What's wrong with me? But whatever is stuck in your heart like ice, cold block of ice. Because when it won't, until and unless it won't melt, you won't be open to new things in life, beautiful things in life. You are stuck in that situation. Yeah, resentment. Right word is resentment. So any kind of resentment, Mars shows resentment for you in Scorpio in the first house. There is something which really challenges you so much. So that needs to melt. So this icy heart of Pluto, that heart is in you right now, and it needs to melt. It needs to go away. That hard feeling needs to go away. And this, what Mars will do, it will immediately make that feeling a bit heavy, and then slowly it will die off, that feeling. And also Venus is represented here by this beautiful ladybug. Venus in the 12th house, worrying about the space in relationships, worrying about whether I will be given the right justice, the respect, the right treatment in love, because you deserve the right treatment. So with this ladybug, it's a reminder. This is so Venus in 12th house for you right now, that let go the people. You don't have to make them stay with you. You don't have to make them respect you. Okay, ladybug represents romance and love, and the right people will come to you. The right people will be attracted to you, because this conflict of Mars and Venus in this first and 12th house, it's challenging. You want people to stay, but when they stay, it's not healthy for you. This icy cold block gives so much of pain. So this needs to melt away. These people needs to fly away, and the right people will just come back to you. So this is more of giving value to the love and the affection you give. I see a lack of respect of the love you have for others, and on a very material level, professional level, what Venus and Mars is indicating in this first and the 12th house axis is that you must let go the need to have a certain order, to have a certain principle. Okay, this needs to be done like this, being very rebellious, being very forceful to make things happen. It will not work for you. And one last thing I want to add is the full moon. Oh, there are two things. Firstly, there's a beautiful full moon in your eighth house in Gemini, and moon in your chart rules over the ninth house. So make the best of your opportunities. Don't ignore the opportunities coming in your way, because I'm not saying, oh, it's the full moon in the eighth house, so something misleading is coming in your way. No, it's not that. But you're underestimating the opportunities coming in your life. Okay, maybe you're so stuck in a certain emotional rut and you're not making the best of that opportunity. And being born again, with a full moon in the eighth house, I always say being born again, a fresh new start to something very important. And last thing, there are a lot of flaws in this picture. If you see here, there's a patch. This is a result of overdoing things. Or if I overdo this, it will be pretty, it will be beautiful. So with the Mars and Scorpio in the first house, you may have a tendency of overdoing things till the last minute. Oh, let me do this more. No, overdoing of anything will ruin the that particular aspect of your life, so avoid that. Hey everyone, let's talk about Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, the December is good. I'll tell you why. The sun will transit from your first house. Sun in your chart is the ninth lord. And in the later half of December, sun transits from your first house in Sagittarius, and your first lord Jupiter is already transiting from fifth house. It is retrograde. By the end of December, Jupiter will also go direct. So the ninth lord transiting from first lord transiting from the fifth house, this brings a lot of betterment, optimism, and opportunities for you. The initial half of December, the sun will join the Mars. It's with Mars in the 12th house in Scorpio. It's not easy. And this particular art which I did, this is the eclipsed sun, devil horns of the sun. And this shows two natures which are connected to sun. Sun is, you're so connected to the soul, you're so connected with the inner self. And then there's this part of you which is so egoistic. It's about pride. It's not about you. It's about pride. It's about being very, very selfish and hurting others for the benefits for self. And then there's this aspect of sun which is about being the light for the world, being the giver. So sun do have these two aspects, and this eclipse sun, the devil horns of the sun, it resonates with sun reaching to Scorpio in the 12th house with the Mars. This signifies, I'm not saying that you are egoistic or something like that. This the initial half of the December, when sun is in the 12th house, this indicates there are times when you have to have a good control on self, stopping yourself from reacting very quickly, not getting into fight, not getting into conflict, because there are some people who may intentionally trigger you to get your response. They may trigger you to make you speak, and then you get into some kind of trouble. So people around you who are opportunist, and they are looking for a reason to hurt you or to manipulate you. So this is what the devil horns of the sun is indicating, people, they look something and they act in a different manner, hidden intentions. This could also be you acting against yourself sometimes, when you act in a very strong impulse out of anger, because Mars in Scorpio, for you, it's not easy. Mars rules the fifth house, which is about happiness. This is the house of, fifth house is about, literally, this is the house of sun, the fifth house. And then Mars ruling over here, anger is the biggest enemy. Being a Sagittarius rising or moon, you're very swift with your work. You don't wait for anyone. You don't wait for anyone's validation. You just want to do things on in your own pace. But the sun, when it's in the 12th house, there's a lot of caution which is required. Sun may also, like as it transits from this house, it takes you to more of isolated places where you can rest, where you can just rest and think for a while what to do next, not to be in action for a certain period of time. And then the sun will transit from the first house, then you are in full action. You're doing your best, you're happy, you're enjoying, and you don't have to struggle for anything. Even your basic actions are bringing great results. Sun brings that optimism and happiness for you, but for a while you have to be in this isolated mode of not taking huge actions. And health may also suffer a bit in this particular month. And then the Venus is in the 11th house in Libra, and of course Saturn is in Aquarius right now in the third house. A very wonderful time to grow beautiful things in life, to have the consistent efforts towards what you desire for, and there is some reward, there is some positive success, reward, gain which happens in December, and it motivates you for the future, that I can make long term plans for it, I can work towards this, it's not that difficult, which I thought it's much better. So good growth comes from here, good decision comes from here. And also Venus brings a lot of interaction with the community, the friends, the known people, having a good time with your loved ones and connecting with them and talking to them. So that kind of balance comes here when you interact with others. For a lot of people, it is also about getting over a certain conflict in a important friendship, or maybe in some important relationship, overcoming some challenge by connecting and talking, it will improve. And there's a beautiful full moon in the seventh house in Gemini this month for you. So this is why I was saying again that there's a lot of communication, speaking your truth, connecting with others, interaction, having fun. All of this is happening. So December is about people. It's about meeting others, spending time with them, listening to their story, not just telling yours, but patiently listening to them. And when you listen to them, there's a lot of guidance, somehow, a direction you will get about your life as well. So financially, yes, there is growth. Any kind of plan you have in your mind, if you execute it, it's giving success. Friendships are getting better, but the anger is something which will hurt you, and that's why we have the magnolia here. Magnolia is about calmness. Okay, you have Mars in the 12th house entire month in Scorpio. So being gentle, focusing on sleep, focusing on what you consume, not just the diet, but your mind as well. So this is where you have to work the most. to calm down the nervous system, to calm down your body. Okay. Hey everyone, let's talk about Capricorn. Capricorn, well, first thing I want to talk about is the Venus in the 10th house in Libra. A big obstacle is over with respect to career, because all this time the Ketu in the Libra sign, which is your 10th house, no matter how hard you were doing your work, the results were not there. You felt as if, oh God, what happened? I'm doing so much and I can't see the results. And you were questioning whether my hard work is even visible to others or not. Feeling like you're invisible, no one can see you. Maybe it's just about being along with your people. No one can see you, your worth. So the entry of Venus in Libra just activates and brings the success here. Outstanding success and appreciation, and a lot of affection as well. There is marked improvement in the relationships, the people who know you, because Venus is not just the 10th lord but the 5th lord. Venus is about the emotional stability as well. For you in your chart, Venus represents the happiness ruling over the 5th house. So there is happiness here. Happiness from the success, happiness from the rewards you are getting because of your work and through your skills, happiness because other people are giving you that validation and respect of the work you are doing. So Venus is giving a full blast here. There is happiness, there is fulfillment, there is success, and anything which was blocked with respect to money, it also enhances. And also the Mars is transiting from your 11th house in Scorpio, and Mars also rules the 4th house. So what Mars here indicates that there is great, I would say, energy around you. Like the people around you, they will motivate you, they will give you more advice, they will give you great support. This is electric. The people around you, the environment around you is electric. Getting inspired by others, what they have to say, and also getting inspired by the people who speak against you. Why I'm telling you this? Because Mars is ultimately the rebel. All right. So you may notice the people who were talking against you, or maybe they have criticized you at one point. Now they're also standing next to you and saying, oh, you are wonderful. Okay. So that doesn't come from the place of love, but that comes from the fear that how strong you are, how amazing you are. So that kind of change you may notice in this particular month. There is the people who were against you are now clapping for you. Moon will be in the 6th house, the full moon in Gemini, and it's amazing how I selected this art for Capricorn. We have a full moon in the 6th house of challenges, health, and justice. So this is a moon. It's a bit of a daytime, and the moon is surrounded by the clouds, and then there's a streak of rainbow. It's amazing. It's hard to see moon with a rainbow around it. That's the miracle. That's the uniqueness of you. It shows surpassing of a challenge, surpassing of a situation which looks like impossible or challenging or too tough. I'm not saying a very huge thing changes here, but maybe a certain situation for you, you were avoiding it and you were saying, oh, it's tough, I don't want to get into this. But how amazing you are, like this ease of rainbow, like this beautiful streak of rainbow in the sky around the moon. You will be happy of a certain achievement, a little achievement. It looks like, oh, it's so tiny, but it's so special for you. So that kind of achievement is happening here. And this is about also stick to the positivity, even if because being a Capricorn, I know it's challenging being in a state of negativity. A lot of times you will find yourself in negativity. So even if like 1% you have a hope, stick to it. This is about the streak of rainbow and color and full moon in the sixth house. There's victory over a very important issue, victory over maybe simply, a minor health inconvenience, and you are taking good care of yourself. Winning over an argument as well. Sometimes it's important to win in arguments, isn't it? So that could be the thing. And Sun in the 12th house for a certain period of time. Sun is with Mars in Scorpio. Now, because of that, I don't think so it will impact the finances. It may just make things a bit uncertain. Like whatever you're expecting, it may come to you with a delay, with some challenge. If you are into business or a trade, then you may see sudden growth in money after a pause, and then you will see sudden growth. But after that, Sun reaches to the 12th house in Sagittarius. Sun in your chart is the 8th lord, and it transits from the 12th house along with the Mercury. So it connects with this particular art. This is Oumuamua. It's the first interstellar object. It absolutely came from a different world. This piece of rock, and it amazed everyone in this world. So it's out of our galaxy. It's something which is from a far, far away world. And your sun is reaching to a far, far away world in the 12th house. So this is a reminder of cherishing your uniqueness. You know what you might be thinking is your weakness, but it is something which is so beautiful about you. You consider it as a weakness because it doesn't look like other people have it. It's not common. So people will see that in amazement and shock, and but this is what you are. People will view you as if, whoa, what is this? This person is so different. Maybe you have a certain trait and you feel, okay, I should be guilty of it. No, maybe if you are proud of it, the world will give you that respect. It's about how you show your skills to other people. If you yourself don't respect that, then how others will respect it? But if you respect it, others will do so. A movie, Drishyam. It's a Bollywood movie, and it's like what you show, okay, the picture, the vision, the world will learn that, and the world will remember it. It's not what you say, what they hear, it's what they will view. That is what is important. So never show that, okay, I'm weak or so and so. Yes, we can be weak, but not every time we can tell people. So the Oumuamua is also about, don't tell about your weakness to everyone. Not everyone will take it seriously. They may make fun of it. And it also shows that you're not that weak the way you think about it. Okay, so this is also the another meaning for Oumuamua is connection with the divine, some kind of help. A message comes from the higher power that, hey, everything is good. everything is good. The only challenge I see with the sun this month is it may impact the health. It may create some kind of obstruction in your daily routine as well. And we already have Ketu and Virgo for you in the ninth house to create that challenge in the daily routine life for you as well. Hey everyone, let's talk about Aquarius. Now, by this time, my throat is saying bye bye. Yep. Okay. For Aquarius, it's a very positive transformation. I'll tell you why. The trines, three houses, first, fifth, and the ninth house. You already have Saturn in Aquarius, that is the first house. You will have a full moon in the fifth house in Gemini, and you already have Venus here in Libra, that is your ninth house. This is number one, more than career, more than finances. This is definitely a big improvement in the self confidence, a big improvement in how you overcome certain issues and challenges, and you are ready to move forward. Especially the first and the ninth house, where the Saturn is in its own sign Aquarius, and see, your trines are ruled by air signs, the first, fifth, and the ninth house. So the first and the ninth house is so strong right now, which is about concrete steps towards a certain direction in life, being more committed to a certain way of living, your career path, traveling to a new place. It could be simply like, even it's not career or anything, it's about how can I be more better with respect to my actions, how I can be more focused towards very little things of life, eating my food better, sleeping well. And it's not just you who are taking these actions, long term actions. Something is being restored in your life in this duration, working on it. So it's not just you who is taking actions, but there is a lot of divine support here. As I said, that the first and ninth house are in such a great strength. So there is support from the higher power, divine, whatever you believe in, whatever you say. So, but and then also there is support from your inner circle, your people. At least there's significant one person who comes in and supports you, gives you the right direction, maybe gives you some kind of financial help, maybe helps you in the career in some way. Venus rules the fourth and the ninth house in your chart. Venus is the yoga karaka for you. So when Venus reaches to the ninth house, this is a gift, this is a boost, this is a great time for improvement in the career, or it's simply about getting noticed by others, the work you are doing. So good progress. There is fulfillment as well, fulfillment in whatever work you are doing. It could also be next step towards a person, a relationship, things getting more strong. So whatever it is, it's about fixing something. Though yeah, this is the air sign, but you're getting forward. Like, one thing is being done, and now it's time to move ahead. So this is a very positive transformation, I would say. And then for Aquarius, the sun will be in the 10th house, along with Mars in Scorpio for the initial half of December. So this may keep you on the edge. This may keep you a bit restless with respect to work, winding up, getting things done on a very short notice. Like there's a lot of work, but the time is less. So doing things very quickly, and sometimes you may get impatient. That could be the thing, or simply it's definitely the workplace. Someone triggers you, bothers you, so making you angry. So there's a lot of work in December for you. And then in the next half of December, the sun reaches to the 11th house. It will be along with the Mercury. So again, the burden may reduce, the work burden may reduce, but you being at the center of your work front, you being there taking decisions, leading other people, it will continue. So when sun transits from your 10th and the 11th house, it becomes the busiest time for you, where you are also dealing with a lot of people, interaction, talking, connecting with them. Sun will challenge you always because you are being ruled by Saturn and Rahu. And once when Sun reaches to these houses, the work is so important. But to get things done, you have to meet people and you have to connect with them even when you don't want to. So that interaction is definitely there. And then there's a full moon in your fifth house in Gemini, and moon actually rules your sixth house. So moon is indicating some challenge with a person who is very close to you, or this person undergoes some kind of health issue. Okay, moon shows that the happiness somewhere impacted by you're worrying about someone very significant in your life. So let's get to these oracle cards. So overall, with career, with finances, there's tremendous growth. You are being appreciated, respected. You are at the center stage, everyone looking at you, and how you can take them higher, how can you guide them for the future. So you're doing very, very well in this particular month. And with respect to love, also, I'm saying there is one step forward. There is some solid decision being made, or things getting better from here. At least the later half of December is much better than the first half, because Sun is your seventh lord and going through Scorpio. Yep. There's more of resentment, there's more of you not saying anything and the other person is not saying anything. That could be the thing, but then the communication gets much, much better. So let's focus on these artworks. The first one is the Magnolia Champaka. This is a beautiful, fragrant flower, and it's when I see this flower, it's always decorated around the neck of Vishnu. Okay, the Vishnu is the deity who preserves everything, sustains everything. And when I see this flower, the first thing which comes into my mind is kindness. Such a beautiful quality kindness is. Forgiving others, doing a lot for others. So this is what I feel you think it's not working for you. Ketu just reached to Virgo in your 8th house. Sometimes you get angry for being kind to some people. You hurt yourself because you were good at one point for some people. So the Magnolia Champaka here reminds me of value the kindness and the love you have given to people, because it will come back to you. As I said, there's this divine support in this month. So you will feel that the love you have given to others, it will come back to you in some form. And the next one is the ghost of Cassiopeia. Now, Cassiopeia is not counted in our nakshatras, but it's a beautiful constellation, and around it there is this nebula which is known as the ghost of Cassiopeia. Now, the ghost of Cassiopeia again point towards the Rahu Ketu axis for you in for the Aquarius, that is the second and the eighth house. What you valued at one time, it may not work for you now. Certain things for you now have become like a ghost. And when you think a lot about the ghost, you cannot move forward in life. This oracle card is a reminder to move forward. What's done, it's done. What's left behind, it's left behind. And the lessons you have learned are so important. The ghost of Cassiopeia also indicates that um, some people, they literally, how would I say? Some people you may meet because you have this Rahu Ketu axis in the second and the eighth house. So the second house is your family, and eighth house could be your partner's family. It could also be the underlying emotions you have because of the family experiences. So some people, their actions are completely brainless. They may damage you, they may hurt you for very stupid reasons. So again, stop the blame game and telling yourself that you are wrong or why this happened to me. This is about, some people are like ghosts. Even if they're around us, they give no goodness to us. They actually suck a lot of energy from us. So this is what, I think both are about kindness, regretting of giving kindness to people, being nice to people. But your kindness is coming back, and it comes to you in some form, and you will cherish it. That's the message. Hey everyone, let's talk about Pisces, the very last sign. For Pisces, the first house ruler, Jupiter, continues its journey from the second house, and in the first house comes the Rahu in Pisces. There's a lot to do with respect to family. There's a lot to give, but there is a question in mind for some people. Whatever I'm doing, do they deserve it? If someone has been so difficult to you all the time, is it okay to do something for that person? And that question is bothering. There is dedication towards the loved ones here, helping them out in some kind of situation, because Rahu co-rules your 12th house, helping someone dealing with a difficult time period. And also with Rahu in Pisces, it is also about dealing with people where you are facing some confusion about their intentions. So this card, Baglamukhi, the goddess Baglamukhi, it shows that you need not to worry about the enemies, the people acting against you. Because see the axis of Rahu Ketu. Ketu in Virgo in the 7th house, the public. Ketu in Virgo, enmity. So confusing. It's very confusing who is with you and who is not. And the goddess Baglamukhi, she is known to paralyze the tongue of the enemy. Okay? So she is a goddess who brings relief from that opposition and that enmity. And this card over here represents that you will know it. You will be made aware who is with you and who is not. Who will support you and who is not. You need clarity in your relationships, your partnerships, your collaborations. and that clarity will happen. Only what you have to do is to not to doubt the self. It's important. When until and unless you don't see it, you don't believe it. Okay, you don't, you cannot just simply trust someone is saying a certain thing and you believe it. No, the visual, the view, how you see things, it's important. And there's a lot of wisdom. Your wisdom will help you. You're a Pisces ascendant, there is wisdom. The only challenge with you is the lack of ability to confront things. And Rahu, when it reaches here to Pisces, it will test you constantly how good you are when it comes to confronting people, confronting challenging issues. And the Baglamukhi here does indicates that you are having great divine protection. You will be rescued, you will be protected in miraculous ways. So that is a beautiful thing about you. And as I mentioned, Saturn in Aquarius, Venus in Libra for you. But for in your chart, Saturn is in 12th house right now, and Venus will be in the 8th house. So they are in their own sign, but they are in the difficult houses. Which means that you will surpass your challenges. That's a certain thing. But there's a lot of patience which is required. Even when the other person, someone questioning your worth, you stick to your decisions, you stick to your worth, you stick to what you are doing. That perseverance brings this success. In December, for a long period of time, you may see things are a bit stagnant and you are constantly focusing on that work, doing your best, being so disciplined, and then you see the miracle, you see the rainbow at the end, at that very end of the corner in the sky. That is how the beauty comes to you. All that hard work pays off. But there's a significant wait, patience, and perseverance required for you. And I also see over here, this is a window, airplane window. I just made this recently. So over here you can see, you cannot understand the pattern of stars because these stars doesn't belong to what you see in the daily sky. I usually vision stars, I usually dream about stars, and I see such different patterns. And that's so Pisces of me sometimes. So this is about dreams. This is about the beautiful things you have in your mind. You want to accomplish it, and it will happen. The Saturn in the 12th house, it looks far away, it looks difficult to reach there. Right now, there is something you may see, oh my god, how can I get this done? But this is the hope, this is the dream. You will fly to this destination, you will fly to that beautiful place, and it's not the achievement, but how the people will applaud for you, how they will support you and appreciate you. It's another gift waiting for you. This is about, stars coming at the window, cheering you up for your journey, for your new start. So there is a lot of applaud and happiness for you. It's not coming very near. No, it's a bit far because the duration when Saturn is in the 12th house in Aquarius, there is a lot of weight, but you will do your very best because in your eyes you have this dream. Through your window, you see these distant stars. I will reach here, I will celebrate, and it will happen. And being consistent is the key to success. And I selected three three artworks for the Pisces today. No another sign is having this. I don't know why. And this represents the Venus. This is Bharani. Bharani was in my mind when I was painting this flower representing the womb of the mother, and these are the major three stars of Bharani, the Aries constellation. So, giving birth to something significant. Your Venus is in Libra in the eighth house. A beautiful success story is happening. Sudden gain of money, sudden success out of nowhere, because you were doubting yourself, nothing else. It is not like now out of nowhere. It was just you doubting yourself, and then say, oh my god, how did I succeed like this? Working under pressure for a long time, and you're so tired that, okay, I cannot even enjoy my success now. So, being born again, giving birth to something after dealing with so much of pain, but it finally worked, it finally happened. So maybe for Pisces, if you are a parent, you may be struggling with dealing with children. And also your fifth lord is moon here, and moon will be in Gemini, a full moon in Gemini in your fourth house. So your role as a parent might be challenging, or simply it's about dealing with the family, working along with them is a bit tricky for you this particular month. Maybe you're worried about the responsibilities you have on your shoulders at the work front. How can you give justice to yourself? How can you give justice to the work assigned to you? Everything will happen very nicely. You need not to worry about it. And of course, this month you have Mars in the ninth house in Scorpio. So be careful while traveling and driving. Plus, yes, Mars is bringing very unnecessary travel and commute. You may not like to travel, but you will be doing this because of urgency, because of work commitments, and the travel is not easy. That's for sure. But overall, December is about open your eyes and see who is with you actually and who is not. And if someone is not with you, you need not to fear about them. Just be active, just be vigilant and protect yourself. And of course, there is more support to you through divine.